Hello everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dichu and welcome to Dichu's Small World. I hope you guys are being amazing. I hope you guys are keeping safe and I hope you guys will enjoy this video. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's amazing. It's just lifestyle and everything.
Got off the phone with the girl who loves you too. Said you're working on yourself. Is she helping with that too? You gave her the time of day. You told her that you would stay. You made me feel the same way. What goes around comes around. That's what I always say. 'Cause
today's video will be talking. Tell me that I didn't stay in my. Okay. Things, just as the title says down here, the things that I wish I knew before I relocated to the US. I'm gonna have a little bit of accent, so I'm sorry guys, but I'll have a little bit of accent and I'm not apologetic about that, but I'm sorry. I hope you guys understand me better. And I wish I could speak in Swahili, but some people watch me from here. So these are the things that I wish I knew before I relocated to the US. The last one will shock you. It will really shock you. It's the first one here, but I think I should leave it to say it as the last one. Number one thing that everybody is shocked about is culture shock. Culture shock is how, like, people live, how people interact and everything. The different things that you guys or we used to do back in Kenya are very different from here. There's so many of them. There's so many culture shocks, and that one will shock you as a first time, visitor or somebody, who's coming to live here, migrating to the US just like me. And yeah, they will shock you. I should have been prepared about that. It's kind of funny. I should have been prepared about that, but it's not something that you should get prepared about because they come up every day. They come up every day. And until someone tells you that this is what you should expect when you come here, bro, yeah, it's crazy. Uh, Number two is everybody is after money, not social life. Here is money after money after money. Like, chase that bag, chasing the bag, everything. Like, people are so busy here. People are really working here, and nobody has time for you. Nobody has time for you. So your family, if you have family over here, it's way better than when you don't have a family over here. People that come from, for example, Africa, maybe let's say, for example, Kenya, and you don't have family here, you suffer a lot of loneliness. I've heard people talk about that because people move from one job to another to look for money, and you guys, well, in Kenya, want us to send money, so we have to work some extra hard. People will work from 1 to 3 jobs a day. People work 12-hour shift, especially nurses, and those people that don't really have good jobs, like way better earning jobs, can work up to 13 hours, 14 hours just to send you that 100 bob that you want, 5,000 that you want. Some people just say, just send me 20K only. Wow, yeah, just 20K only. Anyway, I don't, siwa nini. Um, the other thing that I should have known and somebody should have told me is that having a car is a primary necessity. It's not a secondary want. So hapa, public means of transport is very hectic. Like kupata basi, getting what I mean is by going to outside, you want to travel somewhere, getting a bus or getting a train to take you from one point to another is kind of hectic. It's so hectic, and to find that and it's gonna drop you at a certain point. Maybe that's not where you're going. You have to take Uber. Ubers are very expensive here. If you wanna do Uber, you can do that here. And I wish that I was very, brave in driving, that I'm very comfortable with driving, which I'm getting there. I mean, I'm better off than someone who came here 10 years ago and they're still struggling to go to the freeway, because me, I can drive on the freeway. It's just that I'm not believing in myself very well, because I've had my driving license for less than 6 months. No, for less than 10 months. So I'm not super, super comfortable. I got my driving license January, January, January of this year, and yeah, January, and we're in, yeah, it's 7 months, 7 months of having my driver's license, and that's a necessity. It's a necessity. You are not going to call people to give you a ride when people are busy. Like I told you, people here are after money, and everybody wanna work. So you don't want to be that person who's calling somebody to come and take you to do grocery shopping. You don't want to be that person who's calling somebody to go and take you to get your nails done, to get your hair done. No. So that's a very important thing to have here. Another thing is there are so many jobs here, like very many jobs, and all you have to do is go to Google. Google is everything here. Google is everything. Again, you are not going to start calling people asking them, have you heard of a job that I can apply for? No. Everything is internet here. Like everything is in the internet. It's in the Google. Um, Another thing is that I kind of find it funny, awkward, but at the same time, I feel like, some people deserve tipping, tip, like tipping someone after a service. Some people don't even give you a service, but they want a tip. So it kind of is it's a required necessity. Like you have to pay that person some tip. You have to give them some tip, and tip is like 15%. The lowest is like 15%. Whether you want to give them in cash, sometimes if you pay with your card, um, they will ask you how much tip do you want to tip? Like 5%, 10%, 20%. I think the highest is 20% that I've seen. Another thing is here you don't have to carry money everywhere, like physical money. Like your phone, for example, myself, I don't even carry my bank, not my bank, but my credit card or my debit card, because I can always pay with my card, with my phone, just Apple Pay. Just there's a way to use Apple Pay. If you know, you know. So you don't have to carry money everywhere. You don't have to carry your card everywhere. Like I don't like carrying my cards everywhere, because sometimes they could get lost. I'm that kind of person who would forget. I don't like carrying so many things on my hands, because I feel like this is too heavy for me, or it's bulky, or maybe I feel like I have too much stuff on me. I don't like feeling that. I like feeling light, and I like feeling comfortable when I'm moving to place from one place to another. So yeah, you don't have to carry cards everywhere. On the same point, here we do have credit cards or debit cards. I don't know if Kenya has such things like credit cards. Credit cards is where you use money, borrowed money, and then you pay it back just to build your credit. And when I talk about credit is something here. Like you build credit through your credit card, and that's how people are able to give you loans. You're able to buy a car, you're able to buy a house if you have a good credit. For example, now I'm flexing. I have a very good credit, very good. It's almost at excellent. So I'm proud of myself. At least I'm able to, pay my debts, or, pay if I use my credit card, I'm able to pay it. And they believe that even if they give me a huge amount of money, I'm able to pay the money back. So it's a flex. because some people here ruin their credit, and then you cannot get loans, you cannot get a new car, you cannot get a house. When you're trying to get a house, people feel like you are not going to be able to pay for this house. So it's very important to build your credit and have a good credit history. Yes. um Another thing is that guns are very important here. Things that I wish I knew is that guns are very important here. It's not like Kenya where, for example, me in my family, like we couldn't just own a gun because there's some people who are supposed to own guns and you're like supposed to have a license for that. Some states over here you can even have gun to you can even walk with a gun. Just put it in your pockets, I guess, or just put it somewhere, and then maybe somebody can see that you have the gun. And then if a police officer, I think, sees you and they wanna, verify, like, you know, you are supposed to be having it, then you can show them the license. And for example, here, me and my boyfriend do have, it's his guns. I don't buy guns, but he buys guns a lot because he likes shooting. He's in the military also, and he likes shooting. So we like going to the range to kind of, get to learn how to use these guns. Just in case of anything, I'm here alone at home. I'm able to protect myself in case somebody breaks into our house. So that is the importance of guns, not to shoot me, not to shoot him, not to kill anybody, but to be to know how to use the guns just to protect yourself, I would say. Also, another thing you remember is that I wish I knew that we drive from the right here, unlike in Kenya where you used to drive from the left. So if you come here and you're trying to get a driving license, make sure that you know that you're supposed to be driving on the right. If you are driving in Kenya, if you are driving in Kenya, especially matatu drivers, or bus drivers, or even you own a car and you've been driving for so long, I know it's hard, it's difficult to, like, stop getting used to driving on the left and now driving on the right. And you also walk on the right. Actually, that is one thing that my brother taught us. Well, the 4 months before we joined the military, and we were going to the mall, and my brother was trying to show us the mall, and he was telling us, by the way, you guys, you should be walking always on the right. Everything is done on the right, like walking, driving, cycling, if you're a pedestrian, just walking on the pathways, you're supposed to be walking on the right always. Another thing is the language barrier. I did tell you guys, if you haven't seen that video that Mkenya Marekani did with me, I said that I failed in English test. It was called, what's the name of that? What was the name? TOEFL, TOEFL, whatever that test was called. I failed in that test because I had a problem with hearing and not hearing, but understanding how these people talk, because people over here talk so fast, like they really talk so fast. And whenever I went to boot camp, it was hard for me, it's difficult for me to kind of understand what my trainers were telling me. So it's a language barrier to me. And some people may not find it difficult, which is fine. uh, I talked about public transport. Also came to learn that Thanksgiving, which is November 15, I guess, because that's my brother's birthday, so I remember it. I think it's the midweek of November. Is Thanksgiving is very important here. Thanksgiving is very important here. Like, it is celebrated like it's no one's business. Very important. So that is one thing that Kenyans don't really do, but I see some people doing it. Some people in Kenya who are, well, is it called like Americanized or kind of westernized, can do that. I also see people doing the other one that people look like crazy. That one, you know it. I've seen people in Kenya doing that. And another thing that I wish I knew is that people here use a knife and a fork in a different way. And most of the time, people use forks, not spoons. So I had to learn something from that. So most of the time, people use forks and knives, not spoons. Unlike in Kenya, maybe from the village, we used to use spoons. Another thing that I wish I knew is that some seasons here are crazy, especially summertime and winter. It's really cold when it's winter. In some states, it's extremely cold. Some states, it's, you know, mid cold. And some states, it's not even cold during winter. Like, for example, the states that I live in, winter doesn't look like winter unless it snows. You understand what I mean? Like, unless it snows, it doesn't look like winter. But for example, Minnesota, I think some other states somewhere, those places snow, really snow, and it's cold over there. My best season over here is fall. It's almost fall. We're in summer, but we're going to fall. I think September 21st is when fall starts, and I am extremely excited because my boyfriend is coming from deployment, and we are gonna have some good time. We love traveling, we love going to places, we love doing great things, and we love doing everything outdoors. So I'm extremely excited, and the place that I want to go for fall is Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is like 3 hours from here. And even right now, Washington, D.C. is really beautiful. I love Washington, D.C. very much because it's really beautiful. Like, especially right now during summer, and I think it's spring and fall. Like, it's extremely beautiful. During spring, there are spring, I think they call them spring blossom or something, and it's extremely beautiful. Extremely, there is the word. It's extremely extremely, I don't know why that word is not coming out, but it's full. So social life, I didn't mention about social life, but social life, I would give it a 1%, a 1/10. Social life is not like Kenya where you just walk out and hang out with friends, and people just, like for example, in the village, I used to see people, you just walk out from your home, and then you find people outside, and then you can sit down and have a talk, or even plan on things. Here, social life, like I said, everybody's after money. Everybody's after paying bills. Here, bills are part of your life. Like, they're part of your living. You will pay bills. One other thing that I wish that I knew was that um, you're also gonna pay for apps. Your phone, you pay for your phone bill. You will also pay for your phone loan. And at the same time, the apps that you use, some of the apps that you use, if they don't come with the phone itself, they're not paid in the phone, you'll be paying for them like monthly. It's very crazy that sometimes you find an app that you want to use, but for you to use it, you have to pay like $90, $149. Some softwares are like 200, like editing software that I really want to use to edit my YouTube videos is like, I think, $300 or $400 to just use that software. And I think it's a month. Is it a month or what? It is. Yeah, everything is extremely expensive here, very expensive. But good thing is that there are jobs. There are really jobs. So I think this will be part one of the things that I wish I knew before coming to the US. I'm still learning. I'm still uh, learning these new things. I'm still learning how people are. I'm still learning the things that I didn't know. And at the same time, I'm so sorry, guys, that I'm having an accent. It's something that I don't feel like I want to control because remember, I finished my Form 4 after a year. I joined, not joined, but I went to the US, and the whole of my school years, from growing up to going to school, from primary school to actually going to sorry, to actually going to secondary school and not even going to campus in Kenya. And I was born in the village, I was raised in the village, so I know nothing about Nairobi. I do know some things about Nairobi because I used to go there once. once you know once I used to go there once, and I did not interact with a lot of outside world. I don't. And then remember, the people, the teachers used to teach us in the village kind of English, and we used to learn through British English. And now I'm living in USA, where they use American English, and they are completely different things. Some words that I tell people, sometimes I talk to people and they're like, what did you say? Because myself, I learned through British English. Them, they learned through American English. They are very different, like very many words that we don't share. For example, if I tell somebody from Kenya that I comprehend what you're saying, somebody from here will be like, you told me that you comprehend, like, what do you mean? It might be meaning something else, but if we tell them that you completely understand what you are saying, they will understand. But sometimes in Kenya, we are very we are kind of westernized, so we don't find it hard for an American to talk to us and understand. But me talking to an American in a British English is very hard for them. And remember how we also pronounce the word. That's why you feel like I'm twanging because I have to. I'm learning. I want to talk like them. I'm not sorry about that. I want to talk like them. I want them to understand me. I want them to stop asking me, huh? Huh? That is something that you should also be uh, ready to hear from these people. Some the words that you'll be telling, they'll be like, huh? And they say, huh? Yes, because they didn't understand what you said. So you have to learn how to sorry you have to learn how to speak like them. I mean, if I talk to my family, I'm not going to talk to them in this twanging, or but if I have to, I mean, sometimes they also twang, especially you know the ones that still live here. So I mean, I can talk in Kikuyu very well. Naweza ongea Kiswahili, I can talk in Swahili, so I don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to English, you guys will have to, just forgive me. Another thing that I wish I knew is that I was gonna come to the US and after a few months get citizenship. I didn't know about that. Yes, I got citizenship. I'm a dual citizen of Kenya and the US. Wow. Good for me. Me and my sister and my brothers and whoever are living here, we have citizenship. It's something that we are proud of because it opens a lot of, things for us. We are now Americans. We belong here. And you cannot take my citizenship. Nobody takes your citizenship. Somebody can take your permanent residency, but not your citizenship. And another thing that I wish I knew before coming to the US was that my mind was really open. Like my mind right now is so diverse into many things, like a lot of things. There are so many opportunities here. Very, 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 very. I said very, 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 very. very, very, very many opportunities over here. So my mind is now more open, and I want it to be more diverse, and open to so many things, especially opportunities, because there are very so many opportunities over here for you to get money and for you to be able to pay your bills. So I was able to open my shop. My shop is always linked on my description. Make sure you go, guys, and check out my shop. It's a very interesting shop. You can buy some shirts over there. You can buy some printouts. It's something like prints. And some the last thing that I wish I knew was I would get a boyfriend, an amazing boyfriend. Yeah, I keep talking about him because he's so amazing. He's the best. And I didn't know that after struggling with relationships, that I would get someone who would love me unconditionally the way I am, person who is always there for me, person who I trust, a person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Yeah. And the last thing that I wish I knew was that I would join the military. I did not know that I would join the military. Me nikikuja US, when I was coming to the US, I knew that I was coming to start, working just like any other person. But then we came to the US and my brother told us about the military. And first of all, we were supposed to be joining the US Air Force, not the US Navy. Because US Air Force have some requirements that we didn't meet. US Air Force requires an 80 and above in ASVAB. US Air Force is hard. It's hard. It's difficult to join the US military, the US Air Force, than joining the US Navy, Marines, or any other branch. And we just don't have the US Army, because everybody in Kenya thinks that US military is just the US Army. It has 6 branches. US military has 6 branches. You can join any of them. So it was amazing. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, let me know what you want to know from me. Anything else that you feel like people say and you want to know from me, and I'll do a part 2 of this video. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. Click that subscribe button. Make sure you turn your notification bell so that a video like this, a video that you really want to watch from me, whenever I upload that video and it goes live, you are able to see it. Thank you, guys. I hope to see you again. You are amazing, you are beautiful, and God bless you. Bye.